we currently live in an unprecedented era of video games. Like so many people can make video games, right? They can just use any game engine out there and easily make one or AI. So why should anyone choose to play your game or engage with your feature? How does your game stand out among the thousands that are out there? Right? How do you capture the attention of players, investors, or publishers so that your game can be, further progressed and you can have a team to work with, you can have budget to build your game and all that. So today, we're going to do an introduction to game design. It's going to be quite, I guess, like entry level into game design, just to help all of us here, because I know not a lot of us are as experienced in this field. So we're going to go through some of the terms and what does game design mean for different types of games and all that. In game design, we have a term for all of these different types, which corresponds to everything you said, like different audience, different fundamental design principles, and all that. And that word is genre, right? So if you guess genre, that's right. These are all different genres, although there is some overlap. But yeah, the core difference is genre. All right. So what do each of these mean? So as you grow in seniority as a designer, your area of ownership and influence on the project grows. To advance to the next seniority, you will have to understand what is expected of you in that more senior role. Okay, so that's what many designers ask me. Even designers right now in my studio, they're asking me, how do I move up to the next role? When you are working in your role there and you are thinking of moving up to the next, you have to understand what that role entails. And then we move on to conceptualization. So after your feature or game gets approved, so AAA, you'll likely just be pitching a feature. So it may be like, we need a battle pass, for example. It gets approved. So conceptualization stage, that's where a direction document comes in. So you usually don't dive straight into the feature design. You look at the overall direction, which involves a creative brief and includes things like concept art or motion composition. So this gives like a general feel of what your feature is about. So for example, you pitch a feature about like a combat, like turn-based combat, for example. And then you come here and we decide like, okay, how is the turn-based combat going to be? Does it involve spells? Does it involve weapons? Does it involve elemental attacks and stuff like that? How does it look like? Is it from an isometric point of view? Is it from a first-person point of view? So all these things, you try to get like concept art and motion comms to get the feeling of it right before diving into the feature design, before diving into the details. Yeah. So there's this model. It's called Bartle's player types. It splits into four this way by Richard Bartle. Yeah, this model is made by this guy. It's a framework that helps us to understand player motivations and in turn helps us determine our target audience. So there are four main types of players based on these two axes. There's acting and interacting, so action and interaction, where players prefer acting upon the world or interacting with it. So these ones here, killers and achievers, they act upon the world. They are more purposeful and intentional in just having dominance over the world. Whereas these two, socializers and explorers, they are more interacting with the world and just having fun with it, learning more about it and stuff like that. So that's what they do. And then the other two axes is players versus and the world. So players on the left and on the right it's world. So whether they focus on other players or on the game world itself. So killers and socializers, these two are more other player facing. So killers would want to gamers who want to watch the world burn. They just want to like kill other players. They just want to dominate them. Socializers are those who want to have a good time with friends. They're just like interacting with other players and having fun with them. So these two are more player centric. These two here are more world centric. So this one is achievers. They are determined to, maybe they want to like get the best score, or they want to like collect all the collectibles in the area or something, get all the trophies. Whereas explorers, on the other hand, is more interacting with the world. They are more like going around, learning more about the lore of the game, learning more about like what the different parts of the world is about and stuff like that. So the so these models splits players into these four categories. And it's a very important phase, right? Just ideating and all that. Otherwise, you can't come out with something that's truly unique. Okay, so that is split into three parts. First is ideation, second is evaluation of those ideas, and the third is coming to a decision. So Miro is a tool which is maybe some of you know, some of you don't know. This is extremely powerful for team collaboration and ideation. Some of you may be using it already, some of you may not. So just explaining it. So I'll paste so this is number 4. I'll paste the topic here. What does dating sim meets tower defense look like? Okay, and then you can throw some ideas. All right, throw some ideas in chat, and I would put them on the board. Okay, so yeah, you can start. Just throw some ideas there, and then I will use these post-its to type your idea. You only get units after taking them on a date. Cool. All right, so that's one idea. Just grab a few. Girl boyfriend is the castle the other suitors are trying to attack. Game of Thrones storyline. Cool. Your units get stronger the higher your love meter with them. Units are based on typical romance tropes. Okay, I feel that this is it's not going to stop. But okay. I'll stop after a while. Attractions levels equals to damage. But let's say like attraction levels equals to damage. So this one, it's pretty much like, okay, one value equals to another value. So maybe it's low effort, but it's also low value. Fantasy world, this is really cool, but it sounds really expensive art-wise. So I'll put it maybe up here. And then character development based on relationship made. So this sounds expensive as well. Maybe around here, but it has a lot of value, right? But it's not as expensive as effort, so maybe here. And then you have relationship buildings with units. So this is also really good, has a lot of value, and maybe around here as well. Rival love interests, maybe not so difficult, depending on what they do. You have to build the enemies anyway. So maybe lower effort, but yeah, but still high value. Each date has an army of cousins and siblings to get past. So this one sounds like it's a lot of work. For example, so some of these are just examples I'm just giving. So maybe it's high effort, and value wise, maybe not as high as relationship building. So maybe around here or so. Units are based on typical romance tropes. So this is not difficult. Maybe it's just a bit of dressing and a bit of narrative, right? And yeah, the value is about middle maybe. Right. So you can see how I'm mapping these ones. So you can put like dotted lines here to see roughly where they stand. Okay, hope you all know a bit better how we evaluate ideas in the game industry through these. Okay, and then based on this, we will make some decisions. Okay, you know what, this is the amount of manpower and time we have, and therefore we choose like maybe some of these. Thank you all for your time today, and yeah, let's continue on Discord if you have any questions or anything. Thanks. See you all. Bye.